Hi guys, it's Dr. G here. This is a quick recap and summary of the Unit 6 seminar that I couldn't do last week because my cable modem blew up. So I'm going to record it pretty quickly and go through it and show you some slides and then some live things that I want you to look at. First thing we're going to do is look at an article from entrepreneur.com, Entrepreneur Magazine. And the article is about 6 online marketing strategies that every entrepreneur needs. Now, when they say need, they have some criteria for needing the strategy. And when they say it's necessary, this is what they mean. It's expected. People expect you to have these things if you're a legitimate business. It's got to be accessible. People have to be able to get into and use it, and these techniques are accessible for you. Their strategies are generally affordable. They're valuable. You can get good returns on them, and they're time sensitive. If you invest a reasonable amount of time in these, they'll become more powerful. First thing is what's called personal branding. You want to have an identity in your business, particularly if it's a local business, where people identify it with you. It gives you the ability to meet, network with people, and when people think of your business, they think of you. The next thing you want to do is content marketing. Now, what that means is you don't want to use all this media just to hawk your products. You'd like to have some content that people find useful that they'll come back to your various sites for to learn something. It could be video, could be white papers, those kinds of things. One of the things that a lot of sites do is have a bunch of material that you can download, but you have to enter your email to do that. You can also use a blog that's either on your site or connected to your site with a link to get people who are interested in your subject to come and look at your site. Oops, sorry about that. You want to do search engine optimization. You want to get in and find out how you get your site to show up at the top of search engine listings, and you can specify that by keywords that you use. You can specify it by geography, and you're going to want to learn how to do that. It doesn't cost that much more. You want to make sure that you have what's called conversion optimization. Once people get to your site, you've got to get them to do something. You might have more conversion opportunities, make it easy for people to buy things, that kind of thing. You need to use social media. It's not a quick get-rich-quick scheme by any means, but you really need to be out there, and it can be valuable. And we'll talk a little bit about that. And email marketing. It doesn't cost you much to send these, and you can use sites like Constant Contact and Chimp Mail, and they will take your advertisement that you want and your email list and send out the material to these people. One of the most important things you have to remember in email marketing is legally you have to let people opt out so they don't receive anymore. And if you don't, you're breaking the law and you can be fined. Well, these services will take care of that automatically and automatically include the option for people to opt out. One of the most important things you're going to want to do is do some online marketing training. And this is a great source for it. It's called lynda.com. It's actually part of LinkedIn now, and they've got pretty cost-effective training. Here's just some examples, some foundations, how to write ad copy, that type of stuff, how to do search engine optimizations. If you just get on there and look for online marketing, digital marketing, you see a whole bunch of courses, and you can see reviews and all those things. Now, the next thing we want to talk about is the 10 laws of social media marketing. So let's take a look at those. You have to listen. Social media is about two-way communication. So you need to make sure that you have, for example, messaging on your Facebook page turned on so that you can create some discussions, feedback from customers. You want to focus. You want to focus on specific topics, specific types of customers, and specific audiences rather than super broad media. You want good quality. If you can get a relatively small number of good online connections, read, share, follow you, talk about your content, and forward that onto their own audiences, that's better than a huge number who just read it and then disappear. Social media marketing takes time. It's not going to take off overnight. Yeah, you can get lucky and go viral, but it's not likely to happen. You're going to have to create interest by being online and active over a period of time. The law of compounding. If you produce good quality content that is interesting to people, people will forward it to other people, who will forward it to other people, and it's kind of like compound interest. More and more people will find your material interesting, follow you, forward it, and that type of stuff. You want to find other influencers in your market that have quality audiences and try to connect with them. If you're lucky, they'll forward your stuff, connect with you, and you can, return the favor, frankly, and connect with them. The law of value is probably the most important one. You don't want to be on social media hawking your product continuously. What you're going to want to do is have content that's interesting to people. Videos about how to do things, articles, blog entries, that kind of thing. You will sell product, but you'll end up selling more, frankly, and having a better audience if you have stuff that's of value. And I'll show you an example of that. Okay, the law of accessibility. It's got to be easy to get to. It's got to be easy for you to maintain. And we'll talk about that. You're going to want to link your Facebook page to your website page. You want to link your Twitter account to your Facebook page and to your website, all of those things. I'll show you an example again. The law of reciprocity. If you want people to share your content around, you have to share their content around. You're trying to get a buzz going. You're trying to get people who are interested in your site, and you have to get them to forward your material, and they will then forward, or then you can forward their material. You can do paid social material, or social media rather, and that's a good thing that you probably want to do. You can get Facebook ads, Twitter ads, Yelp ads, and that kind of thing. I'd start out doing the basics and then put my toe in the water very slowly doing that. Again, online marketing, training, and tutorials. There are all sorts of tutorials out there on ways to do this. So I'd look at lynda.com and some other similar sites. Google itself has a bunch of free online marketing training materials. So you might want to go look at Google's site, Google the phrase Google online marketing training, and it'll eventually take you to this site and you can see what they offer. And the digital marketing course overview, and then they got various modules. They show you how to get your ad on Google, what Google AdWords are, which are the kind of keywords that will cause ads to pop up. It will show you how you only pay for results. You can set the budget at whatever you want, and there's no contract. You can set it for a very small amount, and if enough people get in and use it, it will shut off and it won't charge you anymore. And then you can go in and make the decision whether you want to spend any more. Ads on Google get results. It'll show you how to do that, how to get your ads seen, various different ways of doing that. And one of the things they like to tout is the fact that you take the guesswork out of your marketing. You can measure it, you can budget it, you can start, stop, pause it, test it, try different things. One of the most interesting things for me is this fact that you can focus your ads geographically. You know, for example, this is the island of Manhattan. You see Central Park on there. It wouldn't make any sense if you have a coffee house in this area of Manhattan to have a lot of ads pop up for people who are in New Jersey or way out on Long Island. So you can specify with great precision the geographic area in which your ad will pop up. You know, when people are looking for, if they search for coffee house, if they're in the area that you want to target, your ad can pop up. And you can also do it on the basis of time, what time of the day. You probably don't want to spend a lot of time advertising for people in the middle of the night, so you can specify the time of the day. Sorry about this. This is driving me nuts. I try to get this the way it's supposed to be here. Let me go back to where we were. Okay. Now, one of the things you're going to do if you have a food-related business is make sure you're on Yelp. And you can, again, pay to be up at the top, or you can just be on there. And it'll show people where you are, give them directions. It'll, help you focus or rather highlight your menu. On it shows reviews and those things. So, I'm going to look at this. This is for a food truck called Bento Bus. A bento is a compartmentalized little box, comes from Japan that you put takeout food in, lunches and whatnot. So he calls it a bento bus because he has Asian food. And this is his Facebook page, and you can see he's got photos of his various menu options and pictures of his truck and pictures of the truck in front of notable places. I think this guy's actually in Atlanta, so. All right, one of the things that he has is, and Facebook will do, is a calendar. So he puts up where he's going to be on a given day, so people can plan to go to his food truck. You notice up at the top, he's got a Book Us tab, and what that is you can click on that and request him to be at a place. And so you're having a corporate event or whatever. You can ask him if he can be there at a certain time if you want to have that kind of food there. Here's another example. These are social media feeds of another food truck. It's the name of it is the Blaxican food truck. I think it's in Atlanta too. It's a fusion of African American and Mexican food, which sounds kind of good. And you notice what he's done is he's got his tweets showing in there. And he's got menu items and all of those things. So he's got them all working together, which is the point. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is show you a real-world example. This is the Missouri, you can see it up here, Missouri Star Quilting Company. And here is their URL. Just Google Missouri Star Quilting and you can get there. This is a site which is used as an example of a good way to do things by people like Google and YouTube and Facebook and so forth. So small business, someplace in a small town in Missouri that has gotten a huge amount of attention, gotten a huge business by using social media well. Now this is the basic site that they have. New products, if you want pre-cut fabrics, yardage, Notions tools is basically a little bit of a catalog, and you can go to these and you can pick what you want and put it in the cart and do all the usual things. They've got some new arrivals shown here on their site. One of the most important things is they've got this quilting tutorial that shows up on their site. This is a feed. It's an embedded video from YouTube. I'll show you their YouTube channel in a minute, but they've put it in there. And this is an example of content marketing, showing people how to do this particular kind of quilt. So people will come back to the site to look at this. Then they've got some tutorial products, books, and whatnot. And then they've got a subscription thing where you can sign up and log on or whatever and build a quilt. And the point is they've got, not only do they have products, but they've got interesting stuff for people who are into that thing. And then they've got a little bit of their story of the business and how they did it, which you might find interesting. Notice at the bottom here, they've got links to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, and I'll show you a few of those. All right, let's look at their Facebook page here. You know, nice graphic at the top. It's got all the usual stuff. They've got the videos here. Notice how they've got over here the messaging active, so people can send them messages, ask questions, get replies, that kind of stuff. So I'll get that out of the way. And you know, they've got our story and their community, and you know, they put a bunch of photos up and stuff. Notice it's got the kind of a directory when it's open, how to get to them, how to get to their web page if you didn't come from that. All right, and then down here we've got videos in here, and again, featured video and playlists about various things. They've got an Instagram feed, I think. I guess they took that down. They got all their photos. They've got reviews here. Let's see if we can see them here. For some reason it's not popping up, but it's a little slow. But they've got, you know, reviews on here, and people get nervous about having reviews. Here we go. Great deals and so forth and whatnot. If you get a bad one, it's not necessarily all that bad. If you respond quickly and fix the problem, people will see that you're responsive. They got events, what events are coming up in the future, and then back to basically posts and stuff. Notice I've got YouTube on here, which we'll look at in a minute. Okay, and they got video of I guess a show they did in Phoenix. So they're going all over the place. Now let's look at Twitter. The advantage of Twitter is, let me go up to the top of their page. The example of Twitter is if you can get people to follow you, it will automatically, you know, your messages will automatically kind of pop up and they'll get notified. It's kind of like push marketing. So, you know, here's a notice of the tutorial, how to get to the tutorials and the videos and all of those things, so they can put events on there. And notice that these things are all hooked together. The videos are on their YouTube channel, which is free. You create your own YouTube channel, do your videos, upload them. And this is kind of an overall one, and then uploads and popular uploads and so forth. So if you go to YouTube and look for quilting, they'll pop up, or you can get to them through their other sites. The main point here is they all are integrated and linked together to come up with a comprehensive way to do this. And it's really not all that difficult. So I want to go back to Twitter for a second, and I want to go to, I've logged into Twitter on mine, I think. Here is me. And some stuff that I put up here to follow just for the heck of it. Notice that there are major companies that have Twitter feeds and so forth. So we've got Southwest Airlines, we've got Glock, we've got Aviation Week Magazine, Delta Airlines. What else do we have? Boeing. I'm kind of an airplane nut. So we've got a bunch of that stuff. So, I mean, these are major companies that use this to put information and whatnot out there. So don't think it's just for, kids and small businesses and stuff. So I guess the watchwords are you need to be using a website, and you need to be using a Facebook business page with content marketing. I would also have Twitter on there, and you can link them all together. And then I like the idea of videos, particularly if you have a product that requires some explanation, or you have some expertise that you can show off. For example, if you've got a bakery, maybe you want to show a video on a particularly difficult baking technique. Now the question becomes, well, are people going to do it themselves? Probably not. People are busy, but it lets you show off your expertise, and it's likely that people will look at that and say, oh, wow, they really know how to do this. I'm going to go down there and buy some of whatever this is. All right, so hopefully you find that interesting. And I will see you online, and I will see you at the next seminar, as long as we don't lose power from the next windstorm and my cable stays up. So I'll see you then.